Masandawana, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments below. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exceptional episode of the Pitchside
Podcast.
And we're bringing it to you all the way from Miami. 𝐿𝐻𝐿 skipper.
Yes, sir.
Let me get it right. The most successful captain in South African football.
Thank you, my good.
Skipper.
Thank you, good sir. Good
Yeah,
sir.
Miami.
Miami.
More.
They've
You
got
in
an
Miami.
accent this side. I can't speak the language, but yeah, we are here in Larguishisha, mas.
Donaton.
Yes, sir.
How? So le mona wa dureg, you know.
Nja record mna.
No, but mona mo Miami.
I get you
you've
durag.
adapted.
Wanna durag?
No.
Oh, mna. There's no durag here.
You don't have a dureg?
No, I don't have
Durag
a
again.
Kituku ela rolanga.
Durag again.
Tona ile nsuna ya berosing.
Yeah, the musician will come over. No, you know. Oh, Jarul is the guy. Jarul is the guy. Jarul is the guy. Okay.
Gentlemen, it's the FIFA Club World Cup. How's your experience been so far?
Shoo. Yeah. Beside the heat,
Yes.
which everybody complains about, football has been footballing. I loved the matches. My African teams played in front of my eyes. I saw them. I enjoyed the matches. They've scored the goals in the Club World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup. I was happy. And I can easily say the standard is high. You can tell that every team that is here deserves to be here. Look at the performances of Mamelodi Sundowns as a whole.
Yeah.
You can tell that this is a team that wants to be in the knockout stages, and like everybody else, they want to be in the knockout stages. But
Yeah.
I'm just happy with the overall since the competition started. You can tell these boys and everybody else wants to be in the knockout stages.
Donna, we've heard a lot of people speak about the heat. How bad is it? Because I've also heard some of the Europeans speaking about that. Yeah, we're watering the pitch even at the water breaks, but it's not helping.
Yeah, I think those are the teams that suffers the most because these are weather conditions that they're not used to. And you look at the South American teams, none of those have complained. You look at African teams, none of those have complained. Because maybe you're also trying to use that to your advantage. But I think also overall, I think the weather conditions are harsh to everybody. And as much as the competition is nice, there's a lot of goals, there's a lot of good performances. I think maybe we robbed maybe like 5% or 10% more what we could actually, eventually see based on the performances of the players. But it's just that the weather conditions are being harsh. But nonetheless, I mean, footballers are footballers. At the end of the day, they know when to switch it on and become professionals and be able to deliver results that are needed. And even though before the tournament started, I think my biggest concern as a person was how would the guys maybe switch on and trying to play this tournament, because there was a lot of talks about it.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola wasn't really, really pleased with this tournament. A lot of coaches as well. But look at once the game started, I think the adrenaline started rushing in and footballers trying to win games, which is important. We've seen a lot of good results. We've seen a lot of good performances. And yeah, so far, like Hlompho said, I think I'm sure FIFA is very happy as to how things have been going.
Skipper, if I'm a football fan and I'm sitting at home and I'm watching this, how would you, in the most simplest terms, explain to me how the heat, number one, affects the players and the tempo at which the game is played?
The heat is just too much. I used to complain about Toyando heat.
Yeah.
Come second to this. It doesn't even come close to this, because now the heat is depriving us from seeing a well-contested match where players will push each other back. So now they're playing with moments. They're trying to gauge the opposition and see how far can you push us. If you don't push us, we'll come and push you back. So that is not a football match. It's like a boxing of those boxers who are scared of each other, but they're trying to push time to 12 rounds. And in a football match window, in a competition of this nature, with so much is at stake, I think we deserve matches that will put us on the edge of the seat. And we have seen those matches, to be honest, and the upsets in this competition already happened, and it's a match that it's a competition that you would wish you could play when it's cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you don't have stoppages of the match. Now we have to go for a water break. That water break killed the momentum. Maybe you were attacking at the time. One player goes down, then it was a water break. That water break now it forces the team to go for instruction. Now they plan against maybe they see that Teko was killing them on the left. Now they were like, okay, let's reinforce that side. That it gives them time to strategize, re-strategize, and it's like a basketball match. I've never been to the stadium to watch a basketball match, but when I watch basketball match, there's this thing that they do just to, there's
time out.
I like that. Thank you. I'll say that. I like it. So is that those kind of things? And this heat here, I don't know. It's a Durban humid and Messina.
Yeah.
No, the humidity is something else.
Yeah.
Donna, do you think that the FIFA Club World Cup is the highest level of club football?
I personally, for me, I rank UEFA Champions League
Higher.
I think I rank it higher based on the history, based on the longevity that it has been. I think it's been a tradition for so many football clubs. And with the FIFA World Cup, I don't think it's more than 20 years or 15 years. So it's a competition that really clubs get to accustom themselves with. But nonetheless, again, maybe the numbers are up there because of, at the end of the day, it's about numbers, the viewership, and the fans as well. So once the fans start getting interested in and buy into this FIFA Club World Cup, maybe we'll start seeing the Champions League number. But also the Champions League it's more than just a game, right?
Yeah.
It becomes like a culture. You look at all the best teams in the world, they want to participate in that. You look at the leagues, you look at EPL. Come January, teams started talking about Champions League. They want to be in the Champions League the next season. You look at Real Madrid, they're looking forward to Champions League every season. So it becomes a cultural thing. I just hope this one as well will become one of those. And also with the opportunities that have been given to, South American teams, African team, number of teams that are able to participate. And I think it's a bigger opportunity for those teams that normally you wouldn't play at Borussia Dortmund. Normally you wouldn't play a Real Madrid, even in a friendly game because it's so difficult. But then this competition actually provides you with those type. And I think also from those countries, I think the biggest bonus as well, it has to be remuneration that the clubs are actually getting. So beef up the team, be able to strengthen the team in the next season.
All right. So now this brings me to my next question, gents, is to say, we've seen this competition now come to America, and I think the American teams will have support, the Brazilian, the Argentinian teams, just because of proximity to where in America, where America is to them. Whereas if you're coming from Africa, it's a longer flight. Europe, it's a longer flight. In a competition like this, where you're really trying to build something new, like you've said, UEFA Champions League has been there for many years. This is a new concept. So to say, where do you think then is the best place to stage these sort of competitions?
You see, if this format was formed a long time ago, America was going to be the best place for this competition to be at. But now this is a new tournament in terms of the format and how the teams are going to participate in the tournament. So you'd easily take this competition and take it to countries rather where they're aware of football. They understand that going to the stadium, it means there will be excitement. There were so many things that I believe in this country. They are against. They're competing with this competition already, and it's just unfortunate because then it means they will never have a full attendance to the stadium, even if we have a fixture that deserves to be, well attended. I see Mamelodi Sundowns and Borussia Dortmund. I felt that was the match of the tournament in that group stage match where I thought the attendance would be better simply because of the team Mamelodi Sundowns, the way it has caught attention from the time we were in New York. I could feel that there's different, breeze in terms of how they see the jersey and how they see the emblem. So you can tell the excitement that they wanted to see what is this team about, and the things that we were doing for fun there with Modise and Sugar and the rest of the guys who were playing in that match. You can tell that we really put the team under pressure in terms of the good things that we were doing there, and we were just doing for fun. But after that, everybody was like, actually, we want to see what this Mamelodi Sundowns is about. And I remember the Borussia Dortmund guy, the guy with dreadlocks. Yeah. He even came to me and asked me, okay, in South Africa, which position are you? Yeah. And now he's starting to find out. I said, let Google be your friend. And then I left. But it was just me trying to be spicy, because I feel like that's an ignorant question to ask somebody who is in football. And he played for the national team, that guy. And I was like, he can't ask me that. He has to do research and maybe, ask his mates, because I mean...
Spicy, skip
out. I like it. I like it, especially when I see that he knows football. He's a football person. He can't be asking me such questions.
Gents, we did a pitch side straight after the game against Dortmund. It's a couple of days later. How are you feeling now about that game?
Honestly, about that game, it's I honestly feel that we were in the game from the onset. We knew that Borussia would struggle with the heat conditions, and we anticipated that they will play in patches, and that was the result of that, playing in patches. We control most of the time. We look dangerous all the time when we're in the ball. And for a team like Borussia Dortmund to have such respect to Mamelodi Sundowns, that was something refreshing and something that I was applauding at the stadium when watching the game. And also, it's just that it's so disappointing that we never got the maximum points that we wanted to get, because then we cannot just speak about the performance without the results, right? Yeah. And with Mamelodi Sundowns, is when we look at the game in its entirety, I think there's a lot of good things that we have done on the day. The small wrong things that we've done, we got punished for those. And unfortunately, the big ones that we have done are not a true resemblance of the results that we got. And those are issues and lessons that we spoke about even in the beginning of the tournament, that we have to come out of this tournament with lessons that we've learned with this tournament. And those are the lessons. You have to go through those for you to have those type of lessons. And I strongly believe that not just lessons from the players, also from us, also from the technical team as well, also from the board members, because things are done differently 100% at this level. And I strongly believe that even after the game, we still felt good. Normally, Mamelodi Sundowns, you lose a game, it's a funeral. But we looked at it differently. We're like, because at the end of the day, we still want to see as to then how far are we from the European giants. And we saw that we're not that far off. The only difference are details. Like the
finer details.
Finer details. They punish you when you make a mistake. We tend to get away with those where we come from. And these are the lessons that when you go back, as to then when people actually do a mistake, you need to punish. And those are things that are teachable. Those are things that are coachable, things that you can learn. And we've learned those things. And I'm just hoping that, we'll feel the same way that we felt after Dortmund's game. We'll play the same way that we did, maybe a little bit higher if the game requires to do so. But at the end of the day, we need to have those maximum points, which are very, very important for Mamelodi Sundowns. But they have a reference to go back to in terms of performances. They have a reference to go to in terms of results. Against Ulsan, those are results-driven performances. Against Borussia Dortmund, personally, I think performance-wise, we were better. So you have two games that you can actually reference to into going to the Fluminense game.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think the one thing to take away is we have to be ruthless. One small gap, you punish, because if you don't punish, you do get punished. We now move to the next game, Skipper. We're playing Fluminense, a Brazilian team. I mean, my first really watching them is when they played a game against Man City.
Man City. I think they because normally you have a Man City team that
dominates space.
In Europe, nobody matches them from a possession point of view. And they looked for the ball, eh?
Yeah.
I saw the players there, going through the pockets looking for torch to look for the ball. And it was refreshing to see as to then how far Brazilian football has evolved.
Yeah.
It was surprising a couple of years ago when top players started going back home. To go back home. And that also elevated Brazilian football and the coaching style. The players also, I think also the importance of the World Cup that is coming in. Players want to get into the World Cup.
Yeah.
Top teams started performing, Fluminense, Flamengo, Botafogo. So those teams want to perform because the players want to get into the World Cup. And I strongly believe that there's a lot of similarities between how Brazilians play and Mamelodi Sundowns, or how South Americans play and South Africans, or southern part of South Africa, in terms of keeping the ball on the ground, highly technical players, players that can play in between the spaces, in between the pockets, players that are very technically gifted, but you always lack that big striker, good with the header. So those are the challenges that we might face. But in terms of how Fluminense, the last time we saw Fluminense play, we look at how they've been performing within this tournament itself. We have a stronger chance.
Yeah.
We have. As much as we have worries about their play, we have got worries about the players that they have, the style of play that they have. Trust me, they do have worries the same way that we do.
Definitely.
They watched the game against Borussia Dortmund, and this is a team that finished in the quarterfinals. Of course, Fluminense finished runners-up in 2022 in this tournament, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, even that team, the clip that we've been watching is an old clip because a lot of those players have
no longer
moved
there.
on.
So yes, they do have your Thiago Silva at the back, a lot of experience, but those are experience that can be exposed. We expose those, against Borussia Dortmund. We've been exposing experiences. That's not a problem for us. The problem is to then how then we start correctly when we play against Fluminense. But it's a team also that we will respect, but also have the arrogancy to say we can and we will win this game.
Skip, I mean, the goalkeeper, I think, I stand to be corrected, is about 44 years old. Thiago Silva is 40. They've got a left back who I think he's 36, 37. Do you think experience is great, because experience means you've been through it, you've jumped through the loopholes, you've seen most of it, because we can't say you've seen it all in this life. Do you think that is to our advantage?
In a match of this nature, a match of consequences, age wouldn't really matter. As you mentioned that they play 90 minutes, these guys. They know there's no penalties. So they know how to manage moments. And by doing so, then it gave us an opportunity to be in the game a lot more, because we've got younger boys who can be, they recover quicker in these matches. It's gonna be a nice kind of match where the experience of Thiago wouldn't want to play a higher line against Mamelodi Sundowns, because they've watched Ribeiro goal, from a center line all the way to the goal.
And we've seen that goal before, huh?
Yeah.
They know.
Oh, it's a movie that we've watched.
We've watched that movie before.
Watched it.
So I don't think the Brazilian will be that naive to want to push the line higher, knowing very well that they've seen EP. And like you said, this is a level where the analysis is very, very key. This team, they know their opponents, and offshore they watched our match in Orlando, the first match. They even watched our match against Borussia. I'm sure they know the danger man of this team. So they will come very, very prepared. The experience of Thiago of manipulating the last line, making sure that the line is not higher, is not even lower, it will come into play. But at the same time, that give us an opportunity, because we've got players that are very, very gifted. Like Modise said, your Temba will play in half spaces, try to play the goal that we scored against Ulsan. Beautiful goal. It looks like we were in a training ground where Marcelo found Temba just 10. I don't know how he managed to find
Sales.
You know what I mean? So those are the beautiful moments that you'll want my boys to tap into, go into the match of this nature, because it will be a match where we believe we want to get maximum point for us to go into the knockout stages. Because Mark Modise said, as Mamelodi Sundowns, you want to test yourself with these European teams and check the level and see how far we are compared to them. And we can easily say, the three of us sitting here, that after watching Borussia Dortmund match, we can easily say the gap is not big. It's just a game of boxes for them. They know how to kill this box and kill this box. And once we get into those moments of, like you said, the moments are coachable. You can easily tell the striker, half a chance, take it. No need to get a clear one, because in a level of this nature, they might not come. You know, we saw how they scored Gurasi. He was supposed to shoot in front of goals. He went wide, and he knew the quality of the crosses coming.
Yeah.
And for him to be that aggressive to score in the last pole, you can tell these are moments that are coming from a training ground. Goes to a point where you say these are things that are teachable. You can teach a striker to say, if they close here, go to the D. And we've got a striker who can do that in 𝐼𝐒𝐿. I've seen him, I've watched him, how he knows how to run off and make other players to come into play. I know how he knows how to run deeper to create that space. So we've got what it takes. It's just a matter of us really concentrating in that last box of the opposition.
This it's do or die. It's one of those games, a game of consequence, a big game of consequence.
It is, and we've been in such situations. I think we find ourselves in such situations every season, where big games, even outside of our country, from a continental space as well, we do face ourselves in such big games or do or die games, and in most cases we've come out alive. And I strongly believe that because we have so much reference, we've got so much in our vault to tap into. And to remind the players as to that we've been in such a situation, it's not new to us. And for that, I say I take solace into that. I say I take confidence into that, saying that we do have the players and capabilities. It's just a matter of now playing the game on the day, because you can plan, you can prepare for the game, and then the game tells you how it presents itself. You need to be able to adjust yourself to be able to play the game how it presents itself. And we've got flexible players within our team that are able to adjust to what the game tells us. And we've seen that against those Dortmund as well. We've seen that against Ulsan when it needed us for us to defend because they started being dangerous. We did that. We sacrificed position. We did that. So that adjustability is so important. And also it was interesting as well to see then as to then how the players reacted as well after the game. A couple of days after the game when they were recovering on all that stuff.
Sorry, mona. After born Twela, case for no reshap.
The big lizard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. Yeah, we're in Miami, guys.
But I strongly believe, Naves, like it's a do-or-die situation for everyone, even for Fluminense themselves. They're not safe. We win against them. We win, we qualify. 100%. They draw, they qualify. We lose, they qualify. So they are more under pressure to then, having that result. We got one goal, and one goal is just to win the game. We through, and they know that they can't afford to make silly mistakes at the back. But it is a game of consequence. It is a game that many players that are in our team have been. Many players that will find themselves maybe new into the situation. Those are situations that you need to learn and adapt to them. And actually, at the end of the day, the base of all that, just play football, man. Just enjoy this game, because like we always reiterate, this is a type of situation that not every player will have a possibility to play. So enjoy it. And whoever that coach is put on the day, they have a responsibility to make sure the Sundowns win at the end of the day.
Gents, are you superstitious at all?
Next.
I am.
Are you? So the chairman asked us a very tricky question earlier around just in general about kits and stuff.
Yeah.
So my question is, in your superstitions when Hlompho, which kit do we wear to the game?
To the game?
Yeah.
This coming match?
Yeah.
They are both yellow. They are both yellow. So I'll go with yellow and blue. So yeah, whichever yellow comes into, they must do that game that is 1, 2, choose 1, 2, 1, 2, and then whatever. That is the game. Whichever you choose, it goes, because at the end of the day, we want that 90 minutes.
100%.
Yeah, we're desperate to get into 90 minutes and make sure that we come out with the points that it really will take us to the next round.
100%. Score predictions?
True. Let me just not go into that level of predicting. Sorry.
No?
Oh, no.
Your superstitions?
My superstitions is
Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0.
Okay.
I see a 2-1 scoreline. But with majority of the game us dominating.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is they have a bigger crowd here. Silence them. silence the crowd. We've been in situations where we're playing against the crowd. We silence them, the nerves start kicking in, they are human beings, start making mistakes, and we punish them. 2-1.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Masandawana, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. We are Masandawana
Forever.
More Miami. Hey.